Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube channel for episode number 1049. Today, we have an incredible story of selflessness for you. We're going to be speaking with Bethany Keller, and she is coming to us from Newberry High School FFA in Newberry, Florida. And quite a story. About 6 months into her final project in FFA, raising a steer for her county fair, which she just had, she found out that one of her close friends had been diagnosed with cancer, and she changed the entire focus of what she was going to be doing with that project and moved all proceeds from that project to helping to pay her friend's medical bills. And of course, the community got involved. The auctioneer at the auction just a couple weeks ago announced it to the crowd. She got the highest price of anybody at the fair for her project, just like that should have happened. And it's exactly what we are used to seeing in this agricultural community. And what a great example Bethany is for other students out there. Really proud to have her on the show, and we're going to get that started for you right now. Bethany, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. I am very eager to speak with you and glad you could join me. And, on Zoom, I can see that you're still in school, but you're all the way in Florida. Now, that's 2 hours ahead of me. And by my calculations, it's 4:30 where you're at. You're in school late.
I'm after school. I'm just with my ag advisor.
Okay, you stayed after school to do this interview. I am honored. Thank you very much for doing that. And what part of Florida are you in?
Newberry.
Newberry. Where is that in the state?
It's close to Gainesville. I would say like maybe 30 minutes, if that, from Gainesville.
Okay. And here, I'm from Idaho. I'm from a landlocked state, so you've got water like on all sides of you almost. So you're going to have to help me out. When I think of Florida, I think of, here's what I know. I know where Jacksonville is. I know where Miami is. I know where Tampa is. And I kind of know where Tallahassee is. Where are you compared to those places?
We're like in the center. So like if you're going to St. Augustine, however, that's like 2 hours from us.
Okay, very
it's like distance, most likely.
Okay. And when you're not at school, when you're at home, are you living on a farm? Are you living in town or something maybe in the middle of those two?
My family does Simmons Cattle Company, so I've grown up on a farm pretty much my whole life.
Okay, very cool. What's the name of the farm again, or the ranch?
Simmons Cattle Company.
Simmons. And are you guys raising commercial cattle or registered or a combination of the two?
I'd say like a combination.
Yeah, so both commercial but also some breeding stock?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And what are your responsibilities when you get home?
Well, mine was just my steer.
Okay. So you're raising a steer, and did that come out of your guys' cows and bulls?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Now, how long have you been part of the FFA?
So I'd say since my middle school years.
Okay.
Since 7th grade.
All right. And what brought you in? Why did you join?
Well, my brother, who was 4 years older than me, he was part of it. And as a younger sister, I always wanted to do what my brother would do because I thought he was cool. So I joined it. And then I just fell in love with ag.
Okay. I noticed you put that in past tense. You thought your brother was cool. Has that changed now?
He is still pretty cool.
He's still pretty cool. Okay. So you kind of had a mentor leading the way for you.
I did.
That's great. That's good. And I'm assuming he probably was able to help you out along the way.
He was.
That's good. That's awesome. Well, obviously you've had some success in the FFA yourself. I see that you're serving as the senior advisor on your officer team. Do I have that correct?
It's technically junior advisor.
Oh, junior advisor. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
what does that mean? That's a new title for me.
I'm just under the actual advisor.
And what do you do? What's your job?
So the officers come to me before they go to our advisor for any questions or approval that they need.
I see. Okay. So they, if they've got something, it almost sounds like kind of like a chain of command, where they come to you first and then you approve whether or not they go to the next level. Do I have it right?
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Okay. Very good. What got you into that position?
My ag advisor.
You got told you'd be a good junior advisor, and I want you here. Is that right?
I did.
All right. Well, what's life look like for you outside of the ranch and outside of FFA? What else are you into?
I just hang with my friends and family.
Okay.
Hunting and anything outdoors mainly.
Okay. Very good. And you're a senior, so you're going to be graduating here in just what, 2 months, something like that?
June.
In June. Okay. But you skipped a grade. You jumped.
Yes, sir.
How did that happen, and why did that happen? Why did you choose to do that?
Well, I tested high from 5th grade to 6th grade, so they just decided to let me go straight to 7th grade.
They did. Okay. And did you get a say in that, or were your folks like, no, we're doing that, she's ready?
I got a say in it. I was ready, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to be bored.
Yeah, I hear you. Very good. Well, hey, we love to acknowledge our FFA advisors here on the show. If you would, how many do you have, and who are they?
Amanda Barquette is my ag advisor.
Very good. Well, thanks. We're going to put her on the spot and put her on camera here really quick, but that's okay. We don't normally do that. Thank you very much for acknowledging her.
Okay.
Let's talk about your supervised agricultural experience. So I think you kind of alluded to it earlier, but what have you been doing?
So I did a beef project, which was my steer, and all of my proceeds from my steer went to my friend Nathan Blair with osteosarcoma.
Oh, okay. And so you did a project to help out a friend who was in need. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that all originated and what's going on there?
So my grandfather, Gordon Keller, he was diagnosed with cancer in March and passed away in February of 2021. And so in October of 2020, my bad. I decided I wanted to give Nathan all of my proceeds because he had just gotten diagnosed, and I had been watching my grandpa go through it, and I knew couldn't really help him, but I wanted to help someone else out because I've seen what the disease does.
Sure.
And so when Nathan got diagnosed, I messaged him and I was like, hey buddy, like I want to give all my proceeds to you. I really think I can help you out. And he was like totally against it. I was like, you work so hard. And I was like, no, I think this is what I want to do. It's been placed on my heart to do it.
Man, good for you. What a nice thing to do. And that's how I found you. I read an article about what you had done and saw what you had done. And that's super exceptional, Bethany. And I'm sure a million people have told you that and told you thank you, but I'll tell you thank you in front of the whole nation. I think it's really, really, really cool that you did that. Yeah, that's really cool. Good for you. So how did you finally talk him into it?
It wasn't that hard. I just told him I was doing it, whether he wanted me to or not.
So there was no talking him into it. There was just telling him what was going to happen.
Yes,
Very
sir.
cool. Now, how long have you been showing animals?
I used to show pigs in middle school, but I stopped after a while because I got really attached to them. So I was just in FFA, still active, but not showing an animal. And then I decided to change it up and do a steer this year.
Okay. And so when do you have your fair? When do you sell your animals?
Our fair was the first week of March.
Okay. So that's interesting timing. So that's actually the month that your grandfather passed away?
He passed away in February.
Oh, I apologize. You said that he had been diagnosed in March and then passed away in February.
Yes.
And so you had your fair just, what was this, in the last couple of weeks or something like that as we're recording this today?
So he passed away February 18th, and our fair weigh-in was March 4th.
Okay. Gotcha. And so you just sold this steer that you're donating the proceeds to Nathan with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow. When did you start this project?
In April of 2020.
April of 2020. And it's interesting. You start a project like that, and my daughter, she shows sheep, not cattle. But of course, she's always got her eyes on the end of the road, which is how much am I going to sell my lamb for? what will my profit be? What am I going to be able to do with the money? That type of thing. And then about midway through, and I don't know if that's kind of how you were looking at it until you found out about your friend's diagnosis, but then everything shifted for you.
For sure.
Okay. Wow. So with the proceeds that you did receive, and by the way, when you were going through the auction, was the auctioneer able to tell the people who were bidding on your steer what you were going to be using the proceeds for?
So yes, but also the night before pig showmanship and after steer showmanship, so there was no bias during the show. He announced what I was doing, and I got to walk around the ring with my advisor while he was announcing. And then the day of the sale, he announced again while I was in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the community just came together and supported me the day of the sale.
That's really cool. And I wanted to ask you about that. So, in comparison to the other prices that people receive for their market projects that day, how did yours look with everybody knowing, what you decided to do with the proceeds?
Mine was the highest bidding steer there. I'm not sure about the other animals,
Uh-huh.
but mine sold for $11.50 a pound.
Wow. Good for you. Man, what a great thing
Thank
for
you.
you to do. And then what will Nathan be doing with that donation?
All of his proceeds are going to his medical expenses.
Okay. Yeah, that's so good. Good for you. Good for you, Bethany. What a great story. I love interviewing FFA students because I get to hear stuff like this. And it's so great what you guys do. Okay, so, well, let's talk about you a little bit more. So you're graduating in June. What is next for you?
I'm going to Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College in Tifton, Georgia, and I'm going to major in livestock production and minor in agribusiness.
Okay, ABAC. I'm very familiar with ABAC. I've actually never been to Tifton, but I've had a number of students on the show who were either planning to go there or were already there, and it just sounds like an absolutely fantastic agriculture college to me.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that's why you chose it to go out of state into Georgia from Florida.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. And so, I'm sorry, what are you studying again?
Livestock production and agribusiness.
And agribusiness. And then you've chosen that for what reason? Do you have some sort of a vision of what you want to do when you finish your degree? Do you know yet?
I have sort of kind of a vision, but not 100% yet.
Okay. But it has something to do with agriculture and with the business of ag.
For sure.
Good for you. Man, I'm excited for you. That is great. And have you been up? I'm assuming you've been up and visited the campus there at ABAC?
I'm actually going on April 10th for Stallion Day, so it'll be my first time at the campus, but I've done the virtual.
Okay, I hope you love it. You're committed now. I hope you love it. That is great. Good for you. So college, and then what will this summer look like for you before you head off to school?
Spending lots of time with my family and friends, just soaking up every moment.
And what will be the distance if you want to come home for the weekend or something like that? How far will it be from Tifton to Newberry?
3 hours and 15 minutes exact.
Okay, so that's doable though. You can do that. Yeah, very good. Well, good for you, Bethany. I am really excited for you. And the way things have been going with COVID and all of that, will you be able to start school in person this coming fall? Is that the plan for right now?
I'll start in August, yes, sir, in person.
That is great. And are you going to be continuing at all with any FFA activities or anything like that? Are you going to seek an American degree or do anything like that going forward?
Honestly, not sure.
All right. Well, there's plenty of time to make those decisions. I would love to ask just some words of wisdom from you for other FFA students before we finish up today. It is so easy to get focused in on ourselves. And we're doing a project. And by the way, showing a steer is no small project. You got to start really early. Halter braking, it's a big investment. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. And so we get really focused on the outcome at the end. And that's a healthy way to motivate ourselves to do all of that work. But then you see somebody in need and you say, forget about myself. This is a real opportunity to help somebody who needs help. Is that a difficult decision to make? Can you talk to other students about that? Or I guess what motivated you to kind of change the focus of your project?
I would say I feel like giving to other people, my parents have always taught me, like, it'll make you happier in the end than keeping everything for yourself. And I didn't really understand the meaning of that until I did it with my steer and learned how to be selfless instead of selfish, and how to stay humble through all of what seems, when I sold my steer, the tension came on me, but reality, it's all about Nathan. It's never been about me.
Sure.
And I really just think that with Nathan and his cancer, that it just helped me realize that I'm going to help him keep fighting and know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
That's great. Bethany, I am proud to meet you. Very, very proud of you. And thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here, everybody, and thank you very much to Bethany Keller for everything that she has done and for coming on the show and sharing that with us. Just a really great reminder of why we love this lifestyle, why we love being part of this community in agriculture, and can't thank her enough for coming on the show. And for all of you, we can't thank you enough for being here either. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'd love to have you click that subscribe button down there and become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and also to be a follower on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, everybody. And until next time, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.